Let's talk a little bit about pricing. It's been so easy for the past 18 to 24 months because you can put any price on anything and you get a million offers and the market determines the price. Not as much anymore. We have to be more purposeful in our pricing. Hello, I'm Jack Cotton, luxury real estate expert, author, and agent. And I want to talk a little bit about having a process for price because I understand most sellers have no idea how you come up with a price. I mean, they've heard the letters CMA before, and a lot of agents come and they drop a whole bunch of papers on the kitchen table or the dining room table, and it's a mess. They don't really understand how you got to a price for their house. And they also watch the shows on TV, you know, where the agent walks in the house and looks around like this and just says, yeah, 6.7 million. Where'd that come from? I believe pricing is the most critical part of what we do. It helps set us apart from our competition when we have a process for how we arrive at price that people can buy into and understand. If you tell the truth about the price of a listing, the seller might not like it. They may not like that number, but they're going to know it's the result of a process. And if they buy into the process, they're more likely to buy into your price. So there's different ways to go about this. Most agents pick a number, pick a high number, or pick a low number. How about just choosing or calculating or reconciling the right number? When you pick a number, you can take it out of your gut. It's what the seller wants to hear. You could just have a dial and spin it. Whatever the dial points to, make that the price. But this market is changing. If you don't have the right price, things are going to linger on the market a little more. Obviously, sellers love it when you do a high price. A lot of people buy the listing by doing that. But then you have to keep your seller happy for a long time, and they get disenchanted, they get annoyed. But the fact that the house is still sitting on the market, they're still picking up their underwear off the floor and making the beds, it's no fun. And then you're hitting them for price reductions all the time. And in the end, it sells for less money than they might have gotten otherwise. Pick a low number. Some people are doing that. It's an easy sell, but the sellers really hate it. Are you going to leave money on the table? Maybe not, because before, in the last few months or a year and a half, people would swarm in and bid the listing price over anyway, so you could make up for that mistake. But in the end, things sell for fair market value. And my definition of fair market value is a number around 2 to 4 points. And our job is to get that extra 2 or 4 points for the seller. So choosing the right number, reconciling the market data to arrive at the right go-to-market price for a listing is based on a process, not a gut, not a guesswork, not buying the listing, not massaging the seller's ego. It's about reconciling market data. I use 7 steps. I gather sales data. I adjust the sales and make them more like the subject property. And if you think that makes me sound like an appraiser, not really. I've developed a really easy spreadsheet that I'm happy to share with you that makes it easy for you to look really smart. This spreadsheet is so impressive when sellers see it. But number 2 is we adjust the sales. Then we compare to a benchmark. The best benchmark you can use in most markets is what are things selling for per square foot. That's a great benchmark. Then we present the price to the seller in secret. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, no one is going to know anything about the price I'm recommending for your property. This is just among us. Shh, secret. And then we have the pricing committee come by. And I can just read your minds right now. Pricing committee, Jack, what's the pricing committee? It's a fancy name for your office tour. So the office tour comes through. In my case, it comes through on a Thursday morning. They all look at the property. None of them have any idea of what I've talked to the seller about price-wise. And then one at a time, talk to your manager so you don't violate rules of agency. They give me their opinions, and then I give all that to the seller. I give all that information. They've got all these off-the-cuff opinions, plus my highly analytical recommendation. And then the seller selects the price. And sometimes I add anecdotally, or as a parenthetically I should say, you select the price, I'll decide if I'm going to take the listing. But the seller gets to select the price, keep the control within them. But when you give them enough benchmarks, the price is obvious. And unless they're really out there, they're going to follow the data to where it leads. But most importantly, step number 7 is just test market acceptance of the price. And the way we do that is we watch and see how many people looked at the property online. I like to see one person through the door for every 1,000 views online. And if I'm not seeing that, that's a sign of the market rejecting my value proposition. And those are the exact words I use with my seller when I explain that process to them, 1,000 to 1. And I don't say it's overpriced. I say that's the market rejecting our value proposition. So in conclusion, there's nothing to be gained by long times on the market. Oh my gosh, it's agonizing. What do sellers need to hear versus what they want to hear? It's a faster track to your goals and your plans. So I hope that helps you out, and I hope you'll feel free to forward this email to a realtor friend of yours. I hope you'll feel free to go to luxuryrealestateunplugged.com and check it out. And I also hope that between now and the next time we meet, you'll make it a great week.